Nige here from Artecology. After all the excitement of last week, you'll remember when Natalie, who was doing her placement here from Bournemouth University, discovered the amazing bristle worm in our Vertipool. So I thought maybe we should have a look at this week and just see if we can work out exactly what a bristle worm actually is. Here are those tentacles waving around. We'd seen these many times before. But then Natalie showed us this amazing video of the worm in the Vertipool, and you could see that it shoots down the hole. It lives in a hole, we know that. So in an attempt to show you what I think is going on, I'm going to draw a bristle worm on cross section and how I think it would look in one of our Vertipools. Now, I'm not an expert on this, but so bear with me. So it starts with those tentacles, except that they're not tentacles, they're actually palps, and palps are kind of mouth parts really. Then you've got the bit before the head, then this long tube, and a strange funnel-like anus. Imagine that. Now it's sectioned up like all annelids, worms, but the difference is that because this is a polychaete worm, a bristle worm, poly meaning many and chaeta meaning hairs, each segment has two pairs of bristles coming out of it. Now the worm is obviously under the ground, and this is the amazing thing about this particular species, is that it can burrow into the concrete of the Vertipool. And so these tubes are inside the fabric of the Vertipool. So there you go, that's the substrate of the concrete. And because it's a limestone, the Polychaete worm burrows just as it would into natural limestone. If this is the bristle worm, Polydora ciliata, as we think it might be, then there's a very good chance that it is actually kind of drilling down into the concrete fabric of the Vertipool. And if that's the case, then this is something completely new for Vertipools in terms of creating habitat space. And we need to look at this a bit closer. Ideally, what we need to do is detach the Vertipool and have a really close look in the studio to see if indeed these Polychaete worms are drilling into the fabric of the concrete. And it's quite natural for them to do that in natural limestone, and even in the shells of whelks and oysters and things like that. They don't go very deep, so it's not likely that they're going to cause the Vertipool any particular harm or weaken it in any way, but it is very interesting nonetheless. And of course, if it hadn't been for Natalie spotting that bristle worm, we wouldn't really know this stuff. So there we are. It's one of the reasons that spending time and really looking at nature is worthwhile, because that's the only way that you can really find out what's going on.